So prominent Democrats like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer are criticizing Trump for his tariffs. Believe it or not, all those Democrats supported it back then.
What he's proposing is basically a Trump sales tax that could cost the average family almost $4,000 a year. So if you're concerned about higher prices, that is not the way to get lower prices. That's going to come out of your pockets.
The argument is, number one, that's the biggest market in the world. Number two is those countries are already selling to us. I keep on pointing out there are a lot of Japanese cars here in the United States, almost no U.S. cars in Tokyo. Number three is that if we don't write the rules, China will write the rules out in that region. We will be shut out. American businesses, American agriculture, that will mean a loss of U.S. jobs.
As Trump tanks the economy, he knows he and his billionaire buddies will be fine no matter what. If you and your family have more to lose, make sure your members of Congress hears from you.
What about trade? After all, Trump talks about it all the time. Well, let's start with this. It is true that too often past trade deals have been sold to the American people with rosy scenarios that did not pan out, that have seen factories close and jobs disappear. China and other countries have gamed the system for too long. Investments at home that would make us more competitive have been completely blocked in Congress. And American workers and communities have paid the price. The answer is to finally make trade work for us, not against us. So as president, I will stand up to China and anyone else who tries to take advantage of American workers and companies. And when countries break the rules, we won't hesitate to impose targeted tariffs.
Trump's trade chaos is undermining our economy and hurting American families. If Republicans have their way on tariffs and their huge tax bill, most Americans will see their taxes go up, while those on top get a big break. We need a trade policy that puts working people first and free college for all.
Further, what they have said is that we need to not worry about manufacturing in America, because what we should establish is a policy of unfettered free trade. We don't need tariffs. What we need is to allow corporate America the freedom to throw American workers out on the street, people who are making 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour, health care, pensions, throw them out on the street because somehow, Madam President, we are going to create wealth in America and good paying jobs in America as we shut down plants, we move to China, corporations there pay workers 20, 30 cents an hour, and we bring the product back into this country. And anyone who goes shopping in a mall knows how difficult it is today to find the product made in America. But that is the philosophy. And I have to say in that regard, the champion, and he is honest on this one. Senator McCain has been criticized recently for not being the most honest candidate we have seen in terms of his ads and so forth. He has been honest on this one. He is the lead advocate of unfettered free trade. And that's an also important part of this right-wing ideology, that it is good for America that corporations can go to China and bring products back into this country.
And so I'm hopeful we can get bipartisan legislation to prevent the president from raising these tariffs, or once he does, to roll them back. Everything you were promised during the election is out the window if these tariffs go through.
The bottom line is very simple, Mr. President. The Chinese have enjoyed a huge trade surplus with the United States, as this chart shows. Every year, it gets larger and larger and larger. Admittedly, some of that trade surplus is due to the rules of free trade. But much of that trade surplus is because the Chinese don't play fair. The Chinese make no effort to prevent the ripping off of our intellectual property. The Chinese do not play by the rules. We have talked and talked and talked as a nation to them. With other nations of the world, we have talked and talked and talked to the Chinese till we're blue in the face. The time for action is now.
Donald Trump and Republicans are driving us toward recession with reckless tariffs that are nothing more than a massive tax hike on Americans. His inept trade war is crashing the economy.
rising costs, and wiping out hard-earned savings for working families across the country.
Fact is that U.S.-China trade is a job loser. The Chinese want American products that are made in China. And the most serious of these transfers of technology are in the airline industry, where Boeing tail sections of the Boeing 737s were mostly made in Wichita, Kansas. Now they are made in Shen province, where workers make $50 a month. And they had the transfer of the technology and the transfer of the jobs has taken place. General Motors, Ford, they're all fighting to get in to build factories there so they can make parts there. They want MFN so they can get those parts back into the United States. So we are exporting not low-tech jobs and textile jobs. We're exporting our technology.
So what changed?